Hello, and welcome to the first official episode of That One Show with Brian Combs on YouTube. So if you're not familiar with my show, it was at one time an audio-only podcast in which I began talking about music, but would throw in some episodes about movies and professional wrestling and other pop culture type topics. I've recently decided to move it exclusively to YouTube, because I went long enough without you all being able to see this handsome face of mine. No, in all honesty, it's because Spotify sucks now, and it's very difficult to even put out any contact and record an episode and edit it, and it's just way much too time consuming, and ain't nobody got time for that. In addition to my regular episodes that will be full-length episodes, generally around an hour, give or take, once a week I'm going to drop a short episode, and every week I am going to talk about a really bad, so bad that it may be a good movie, called I Watched It So You Don't Have To. I'm going to give a brief synopsis and a brief review of said films. That way you, the viewer, can decide if a given film is worth your time. And on this debut episode of I Watched It So You Don't Have To, I'm going to be talking about a brand new movie available to stream for free if you are a subscriber to Amazon Prime. And trust me, if you aren't, you don't want to sign up just to watch this movie, it is definitely not worth $14.99. Maybe you could sign up for the free preview and watch it quick. But that being said, the first film covered on I Watched It So You Don't Have To with Brian Combs is 2025's Yorkie Werewolf. That's right. The name of this film is The Yorkie Werewolf. And just look at this poster. So The Yorkie Werewolf was just released in April of 2025, a few weeks ago, on Amazon Prime. It is 74 minutes, so it's only literally 1 hour and 14 minutes, and that barely constitutes it being classified as a film, and all the other aspects also barely classify it as being a film. It is, as the title says, about someone who turns not into a regular full-sized werewolf, but a Yorkie werewolf. And I crap you not, when you see the design for this creature in this feature, you will be taken aback like I was. I'm almost positive that they dug up a leftover Ewok outfit from 40 years ago from the set of Return of the Jedi, put a blonde wig on it and some fangs, and put a little person in it to play the Yorkie Werewolf. If you don't believe me, here is a screenshot of the title character, the Yorkie Werewolf. So just from that picture, you kind of get an idea of what you're going to be getting in this movie. Something super silly, something super low budget, but at times kind of fun. I'm going to read you the synopsis real quick from Letterboxd. The Yorkie Werewolf, 2025, directed by Michael Diabasso Ornelas. That can't be a real name. A rebellious teen witch is turned into a tiny werewolf and thrown into the middle of a decades-old war between one small town's creatures of the night and the local mafia. I'm telling you all, this movie has the mob, a Yorkie werewolf, and vampires. And it is as silly and insane as it sounds. Now, I understand the filmmakers was probably not just working with a shoestring budget, but maybe a Velcro budget. And to pull off what they did with the limitations in which they had to work is a minor miracle. I give this film 2.5 out of 5 stars. I will recommend it to those who have a mindset to watch silly, cheap stuff, like me. I love, quote-unquote, B movies. And I also love, quote-unquote, D movies, which don't even have the classifications and ramifications of B movies, such as The Yorkie Werewolf. I would recommend this one if you have an hour and 15 minutes to kill. It's super, super foolish, at times entertaining, and it's kind of movie you might want to start on the afternoon of a time around, say, 4:20. And this has been the debut episode of I Watched It So You Don't Have To with Brian Combs. Next week, we turn back the clock a few years. And we don't do a new movie. No. We do an older one. And it is called The Gingerbread Man and stars the one and only Gary Busey. Until then, we'll see you at the movies. And this has been I Watched It So You Don't Have To with Brian Combs.